This portion of the scheduled meeting of the Egg Harbor Township Committee is being videotaped for broadcast. Due to either technical reasons or topics for discussion that may be held in closed session pursuant to the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, there may be interruptions in the videotaping of these proceedings. This meeting will be aired by EHT TV, Channel 97 on Thursday, July 25th.
Thank you. Could everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which stands one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Joe Cafaro.
Here?
Ray Ellis. Paul Hodson.
Yes.
William Pauls.
Here.
Laura Fermer.
I'm here. We have no presentations this evening.
Oh, man.
We have no public hearings this evening. We have ordinance introduction. Mr. Friedman.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 18 is an ordinance to vacate a portion of Fruitwood Avenue as described by Meets and Bounds. The purpose of this ordinance is to extinguish all public rights to a portion of Fruitwood Avenue. The public hearing on ordinance 18 will be held on August 14, 2024 at 5:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to introduce ordinance number 18?
So moved.
Can I have a second, please?
Second.
Roll call.
Cafaro.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Hodson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Fermer.
Yes. Is there anyone in the public that would like to address the governing body? Come on down. State your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, Barbara Maples, 26 Sturbridge Court, Egg Harbor Township, rats and water retention. Okay, I'm back.
Still have rats?
Well, we're not sure, so I'm going to lay out. I guess at this point, I'm a little frustrated. I've left 4 messages in your office, and I haven't heard back. When I called back in April or May, I was told, now, mind you, I was here last fall. Okay. And can't get the water retention, Public Works, it's too big. You have to have an outside contractor, da-da-da. Then I hear there's no money for it. We have to wait. So I call and find out we have to wait till the new budget to bring in somebody big because it has to be excavated. And so I have to wait till the June meeting, I think I was told by your secretary. She's been wonderful, but she's now just giving me information. I'm not getting phone calls. She's like, well, I think they have to wait for this, whatever. So then we had a nice drought of a good 3 weeks or so. That water retention was bone dry. Call. Now we got to wait till after July, something with the money, she tells me. I'm not sure, but I wanted to get answers from you, but I didn't.
Well, why don't you do this?
Well,
Wait.
wait.
Questions, because then Tom is here and the engineer is here. so
Right,
it's
right.
Perfect.
Well,
time.
this is, so it's twofold. So I did my stuff with the county, Department of Health, got with them, spent a lot of time with the director, Karen and Jill Miles. They did their part, which was going to notify the neighborhood surrounding with rat flyers and what to look for and all that fun stuff. And then was reaching out to your office, I believe, to, and this was back in May that they did this, and reaching out to your office to find out about the township not putting traps, because they don't trap the rats. It's like, no one wants responsibility of trapping the rats. You don't trap them. I don't know. So they said, we're going to talk to the township and see if they will put bait boxes out, because remember, we, as our neighbors, hired an exterminator and did all of that. So they were going to put bait boxes around the retention area to see if there was activity, because our concern was, once you guys come in and excavate, which I don't even know when that's going to happen, but we'll talk about that, we're afraid that the rats that are in there are going to push back into our yards again. So I'm afraid to say it, so I'm going to knock on wood, we have not seen rats for a couple of months. I think the last time the neighbor's dog got a rat was in end of April, beginning of May. So we're hoping. Now, we do have holes along our fence that we had before, like that we could tell there was activity. So the county did their part, mailed that out. I don't know, so that's one question. Are they doing bait boxes? I looked on the minutes, I went back to the minutes from 7:10, the minutes from 7:10, 7:24, and even on these to see if there's a resolution to hire this company. I didn't see anything about on here hiring a company or anything because I'm guessing it has to be a resolution. I don't know all those details, but as I'm reading through, I'm like, well, maybe there has to be a resolution. There's nothing as of this date. So my question is, now the retention is full again because we've had rain. So now we're probably a good 2 feet of water, which is great in the summertime with lots of mosquitoes so that's a good thing going too. So rats, possibly mosquito, all that. And really just one answers as to where we stand, what it's looking like.
That's fair.
I
never got anything from the county regarding bait boxes. Not a phone
Okay.
call, not an email, just so you're aware of that.
Okay, she might have talked to Sarah then in the zoning,
I'll-
because you had connected, you had told me
Yes.
Sarah talks with them.
Yes.
And she was gonna maybe reach out to Sarah, and then Sarah was gonna have to go to you. I don't
Right.
know.
And then with regards, we weren't hiring an outside company, we were doing it in-house, but we needed to rent the machine to do it. I think I told you that. It's a larger machine that Public Works doesn't have. And we were all set to do that and go forward, and then we lost Gil. So we had a death in Public Works, not that that's an excuse, so it kind of got things out of kilter for a little while. And the machine that they are renting, there's one machine that they're renting, there's not multiple ones, so they're waiting for that timing. DPW director has the go-ahead, he has the account number to charge that to. You won't see a resolution. It's just him getting over there now to schedule it with his guys, just to do it.
Okay, I believe our last conversation was that it was too big of a job for the department, the machine that had been brought in before, but that you were the last thing you told me is that you had to hire an outside excavating company.
No.
And then okay.
No, you may have misunderstood me. No, it was just a bigger machine that we can do, Public Works can do it, and they have the personnel.
To excavate and
Yes.
dig down and
Yeah,
all that
We
because.
just don't have a machine big enough to reach that far. So it's a rental, a $10,000 rental to get. the
And so
machine.
that's why you had to wait for the budget to get
We had to
through
wait for, yeah,
to.
because that money wasn't approved, and we had to wait for the full budget, which I believe Roe told you, which it's here, and then we had it already scheduling, and then we had a personnel problem, and then, so it's still moving forward. The director has the green light, it's just waiting for him to get over there to do it. And I'll reach out to him tomorrow to
So,
make sure it's on the top of his.
so are
list again.
they coming into the retention and excavating? Because I thought we had the conversation that you said it had to be dug out from the excavated from, I could have sworn you said an excavation company had to come in, that it was too big because of what you had to remove and excavate to get it flowing and cleaned
I don't
out.
recall saying that. I know
Okay.
we needed a larger machine is what I know we needed.
Okay, so it's going to be excavated out, so it will be draining within the 72 hours that it's, so I think it was
That's the goal.
48 to 72?
72 by law.
72 by law, that it has to be done.
That's the plan.
Okay. So now we have to wait for it to dry out again though, right? Well, you can't go in now, obviously, I'm
It hasn't
guessing.
rained that much, but yeah, I'm hoping if it's within the 72 hours, we should be good.
Are both basins filled up with water?
No, nothing happens in the sand pit.
Okay, so what they can do is pump down the basin into that sand pit to make it, to kind of move it along quicker.
I know they had to wait until Rochelle was completed, which
Right.
that just got
And I
completed
think
and
we-
turned over to you
I
guys.
accepted that basin
last-
already.
Yeah, we did. We
So
did.
they can pump down if they need to, before, late September comes and we start getting rains again, so.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Now that you have that rain, you have probably 2 feet of sitting water. That's going to take a while to drain out before you can get machines in
That's what
again.
Bob's saying. We can pump the current water
Yeah.
into the other basin to expedite the water
So
going down.
let's check with Al on when we can get this
It's just a-
excavator and online, and then we'll be out there, overseeing, making sure that they excavate out any clay in that area, because
Okay.
something's not working, so there must be some clay in there, and then we'll pump down and we'll pump it into the sand area. The sand one's working, because obviously it doesn't have any water in it.
Yeah,
So that's
I've
good.
never seen the whole time I've lived there in 24 years, there's never been a drop of anything in that water
So we'll
retention
get
at
the
all.
water to go into there, and while we fix this one, and then, should
Barb,
be.
one question when
Yes.
you finish.
No,
We took out all the trees and the saplings. It was all that done. I remember that.
Yeah, they did clear out a lot. Yeah, which was great. That was good. Well, now it's all a lot of grass because all that,
Summer growth.
yeah, the gosh, I can't think, marsh grass, like marshweed, the big tall green things that you get the cattails on and everything like that. That's grown in, which, I know, neighbors on the other side weren't happy that it was getting cleared out, but
The butterflies are coming.
yeah, no, well, too, and there, you can see everything now. So now where it used to be a forest between our streets, you can see into their yards and they can see, we can see now and they can see into our yards, which, I don't care about that. I just want the rats gone and hope that they're
You
gone.
want the basin to be functional.
Yeah, so we're
Get rid
not
of the roots
having.
And then getting through the clay.
Right. So we're not having a habitat for them, for the mosquitoes, for everything. Then going back to the rats, is there an option for the bait boxes to see, or now at this point
I need to talk to the county about that because I don't even know what the legalities are. They're not catching them. Like you said, nobody.
No, I know
Deals with rats.
yeah, the county
We
says
don't-
it's your
the county doesn't.
responsibility and then.
But we don't have our animal control doesn't deal with wild animals.
But
Wild
it's not, they
animals.
don't put bait boxes out.
Yeah, that's what she
what
was
bait
saying.
boxes
We
are.
weren't
They do
saying trap. Yeah, so to see, they put the bait boxes down and then they come back within a week and they check and see
They
if
know
there's
there's
activity. And these bait boxes, the poison that they used, our exterminator used, was only lethal to rodents, which were the rats, mice, and unfortunately chipmunks. Because it's this thing, it turns off the component in their brain that tells them to drink, and then they just don't go to the water, and then they dehydrate and die.
Well, if we're gonna do this, we want that down before we excavate because.
That's what I'm saying.
it
So
will
if you're,
drive- they did this behind me and they drove the rats into our.
So
my
that's our,
neighbor's.
that's what our fear is that we've had the rat problem now over a year, and we've all stopped feeding, we've done what we're supposed to do, but that's our fear, is when you come in and excavate, they're gonna push in, they're not gonna run across the street, they're gonna come right back into our backyards.
And you haven't seen them in a couple months, you said?
Yeah, the last kill was the end of April, beginning of May, I think I said. So, we see holes, but we think that they're chipmunk holes or smaller rodents because
Chipmunks
it's,
can do a lot of damage.
yeah, they don't look as big, but we're really not sure. So
Yeah.
that's where the bait boxes, I can't imagine they're going to get to it this week because there is so much water in there. Even if you pump out, you had shared before that when you put that big machinery in and it's soft, you're just going to sink and
Yeah.
get stuck.
Well, that's
So
one of
it's
the
going to have to
reasons
dry.
The excavator that they're using won't go down into the basin.
Oh, okay.
The claw will, they'll be able to grab it from the street. That's what I'm saying. We need a bigger
for
machine.
the sides.
If the public
Okay.
works goes in there with their machine, then.
Yeah, they're going down.
Go in.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
So we should be fine that way.
I would suggest, why don't you call the office on Friday? This way tomorrow we'll be able to get some answers.
Okay, call
Yeah,
whose
I'm gonna talk to
office?
Sarah. I'll call
Tom's
you on
office.
Friday.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Sarah because I want to talk to the county again. Because we've talked. to
Yeah,
them
so I
numerous
dealt
times.
with Jill Miles, and she was super, and Karen might have been the second, I don't know, I can't even tell you how many
I've
people
talked to
I've
Jill
talked to.
before.
Yeah, so one of them is the one who said, between the two of them, they'll be able to tell you who did the flyers.
Okay.
I don't know who they reached out to, but they said they were reaching out to see if the township would bait boxes, not to trap them, just to bait them to see
Right.
if there was activity. And if there wasn't any activity, then we were gonna be like, okay, we think possibly we've rectified the problem. But I don't know.
Tell them you have Barbara's phone number?
Yes.
Oh, he does. He should probably have it
I have a
memorized
few things in the morning, so I'll call you in the afternoon.
on Friday.
Yeah, on Friday, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. That's great. I appreciate it. I just needed to come to share because it's just,
Rats don't make good neighbors. Rats don't make good neighbors.
no,
So-
they don't. And we're a good snack for your dog. Yeah. Thank you so very much. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. We'll be in touch. Gail,
Gail, yes.
name and address for the record, please.
Gail Minlin, 15 Empire Drive. That is the Bay Club. And I am so thrilled. I am not here to talk about rats tonight. Thank goodness. I think they've moved to you, but I'm sorry about that. Okay, no, I'm here to talk about trash and a couple of other things. So I'm the HOA president of the Bay Club. The Bay Club is Route 40 and Bay Drive, Granada and Venice. That's our little section of love that we live in. Okay, so on Saturday, so Bay Drive, there are two crossovers, right, over the dunes. One is at Granada. So on Saturday, I started to get phone calls from our residents telling me that a homeless family had moved in underneath the crossover on Granada. So, and they told me that they had called the police and the police couldn't do anything about it. I was like, that can't be right. So I called and I talked to the dispatcher, and the dispatcher told me, sorry, the police can't do anything about it. We know about it. You're about the 10th call. Okay. They said, however, they were lovely. Would you like to talk to the sergeant who we're sending somebody over to talk to the people? So I said, sure. Have him get back to me. He was great. And I can't remember his name. I think it was Tom, but I'm not sure. Anyway, he called me and he said that the police had talked to the folks. And apparently in New Jersey, you can pay for a hotel room 1 or 2 nights, and then you have 21 nights free till they kick you out. Who knew? So these folks reached 21 nights and they were kicked out. And they decided to take up new home under our crossover. So the police told me that the dispatchers really didn't understand the law, that the police couldn't do anything about right then, but a little later, they couldn't sleep there. So, okay, the police would come back once it got dark and tell them they can't sleep there. So, long story short, eventually the people found some relatives and they left. However, they left 2 shopping carts there, which just to me advertises homeless, come live here. So the police sergeant told me that he was going to call Public Works and have them remove the shopping carts. That was Saturday. They're still there. So that's my one issue is, could somebody please come and remove the shopping carts sometime soon? The next issue has to do with Athens crossover. And teenagers like to congregate there at the Athens crossover and do whatever they do. On the 4th of July, they thought it would be hilarious if they blew up the trash can, which they did. So the trash can, which is always overflowing, and we residents of that area are always calling Public Works to say, can you add a second trash can, or can you pick up twice a week? Because it's just everywhere. And just like the woman who spoke before me, we live on the bay, and trash and bay really equals rats. And we've had them, and they're gone for now, but it's really concerning. Plus, trash begets trash. So I called Public Works many times to be told that I was like the 15th, 18th, 20th person to complain about this trash can not being replaced. So this was the 4th of July. It is now 20 days later, and the trash can has not been replaced. I called and they said, it's not easy. It has to be chained down. It has to be cemented. And I said, none of those things are the other trash cans at any of the crossovers. Just put a freaking trash can there, please. It hasn't happened. So that's why I'm here tonight.
Well, we'll make sure, Gail, that it does happen, especially the cleanup. I know your fire chief over there, which I think all of you from West Atlantic City know, that Chief Bakley calls regularly with anything that goes, and he knows every single person in West Atlantic City. But he has called, and I will make sure that we will talk to Public Works, and we will get the trash picked up. Because you're right, it brings, especially this time of year, it brings rats, and it does bring other trash, because people aren't respectful of an area when they see it's trashed.
One resident already put a trash can there with a big concrete thing in it, and actually does pick up the trash herself, which is great. But we need the bigger trash can there with the lid and the whole works. And we really need it picked up more than once a week, because it's a busy area. That particular one is the handicap one, kind of goes like that. It's a very attractive one, and people go there. The other thing is that I had also been here talking about more increased police patrols on especially Granada. Granada has our houses, our townhouses are on one side, but on the other side is an empty lot. And there are cars that park there with people just sitting in them. Now, there's also cars that are parked there with people who are going over to the bay or to watch the sunset or whatever. But there are a lot of cars, all different times of day, where people are just sitting, waiting for who knows what. But they're waiting for something. So increased patrols I had asked for, and I started to see them, but then they kind of petered out. I know they're busy. I know Egg Harbor Township is, in big chunks, and it's hard to get to us, but it would be great if we could have increased patrols in that area, just to say, hey, we see what's going on, please take it somewhere else. And the last thing I want to say is that we've been talking with you folks about the flooding on the streets in that area, West Atlantic City area towards the bay, and we also met with the state. The state has been out numerous times for several days at a time to drain the state-owned drainage. But we haven't seen Egg Harbor Township drain theirs. Because I know some is owned by Egg Harbor Township, some is owned by the state. So the state has been very, very impressively active. So if we could do that. And it seems to be a little better, the flooding issue, a little better. But
Well,
it's a work in progress.
most of these issues, I think we can handle pretty easily.
I thought
Getting
so.
the trash picked up should not be a problem. The police patrols, we can talk to the chief, and sometimes they make patrols and nobody sees them go by too.
Sure.
So, because they'll
Yeah.
give us the log when people say they never come, and we see the log,
Uh-huh.
and we know where they've been. So
Okay.
I don't know if they have not been out there lately, I don't know that, but we will make
Are you on the
sure.
street or on the park, on the old lot there?
No, it's interesting because the other side of that lot, so Bay Drive kind of goes like this, and Granada is here. The other side, it's interesting, there are people parked there from time to time. A lot of them are fishing people, where the big sign says no fishing.
Right. That's what I was gonna ask about posting. If they're on the street, we put no.
No, they are.
standing,
They're on the
That's a different
street.
story.
Yeah, that's where they are. They're on Granada.
Okay.
So even I think that if the police made their presence, like actually on Granada, it would be helpful. I get that it's public property and you can park there the entire day and just sit in your car and play Pokemon or whatever you want on your phone. But I don't think that's what's happening. So, yeah. if
We'll
we
talk
could.
to the police. Tom, can you?
Yeah, we might refresh. Remember, he was at that meeting,
He was there, yeah.
so I'll refresh his memory.
Yeah, he can check that for us, and then we'll talk to Al tomorrow about
Yes.
getting these other issues taken care of out there.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to address the governing body? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have a resolution and a consent calendar. Resolutions 332 through and including, but, well, we have a couple things here. Resolution 334 for the record is going to be amended to reflect
345, Mayor.
334?
Oh, wait. I'm sorry.
334 first.
Oh, yeah.
The dollar amount that is listed in the printed text
330.
is 154,902.50 cents. It's changing to 157,102.50 cents, correct?
902.
902. Okay, so it is
50 cents.
902.
And the bottom number's correct.
So that is 902. So resolution 334 is, the dollar amount is 157,902.50 cents.
Yes.
We're going to pull 345 out of this and come back to that later. So could I have a motion for 332 as amended on 334 through and including 344, excluding 345, and including 346?
So moved on the motion.
Can I have a second, please? Thank you. Roll call, please.
Cafaro.
Yes.
Ellis. Hodson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. Resolution 345. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Cafaro.
Yes.
Ellis. Hodson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Farmer.
Abstain. Resolution 347 for the bill list. Resolution authorizing payment of all bills. Can I have a motion, please?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Cafaro.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Hodson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Farmer.
Yes. Township committee reports. Mr. Pauls.
Just want to give the police department a standing ovation for the recruits they're bringing in. I was very impressed with all of them. Nice young kids, really top of the line. It was nice to see that.
And Egg Harbor Township residents, too.
Yes, they were.
That's very nice. Mr. Ellis.
Nothing at this time.
Mr. Hodson.
I talk about the fire department, I'm pretty busy. I just want to compliment our police department. For the longest time as a fireman and a cop in Summers Point, we knew how to operate a fire truck and to do some firematics right away. Our police officer, a K-9 unit, got there on Glen Rock. I didn't even know where the hell it was. But the poor people's kitchen was ablaze due to some careless cooking. But I want to and I'll get with the chief to compliment the K-9 officer who jumped up on that Farmington fire truck and was operating it because Farmington had 2 men. Fortunately, Farmington was gassing at the yard and responded first and helped those people out of a mess in their kitchen. So to the police officers, I mean, in Summers Point, many times we had to get a truck ourselves and come out, but the fact of the matter is the K-9 officer was right on that pumper operating it for Farmington to put that kitchen fire out. It's Glen Rock. I didn't even know where Glen Rock was until I Googled it on the phone. It's right off of Ridge Avenue. The other thing is, the other night we had an 85-year-old lost in the woods. I listened to it. I want to compliment Scullville that stayed out there along with every other agency to help them find that 85-year-old young man that was lost. He apparently golfs in the Green Tree and got disoriented and ended up out on Asbury Avenue next to Mr. Ellis's fort at Hidden Creek. Apparently those golf courses butt up through trails in the back, and they found him at midnight when we were having a pretty significant storm and lightning. So there was multiple agencies, I can't list them all, but Bargaintown, Scullville, our police department initially were out there to find the young man who had left this golf court. A lot of people thought he was looking for golf balls in the retention pond out there or whatever he was doing, but they did find him safe. And if everybody remembers, that was very hot that night. He could have been dehydrated or had some heat issues. But to our fire and to the people that helped us, I know the Coast Guard had a helicopter up. I think the state police also did too. They found the guy around midnight, and we saw the press receipt that the police department sent out. But there's always something going on when it comes to public safety. So my hat's off to public safety, police, fire, and rescue, for doing the job they do in this township.
Real quick,
Yes.
I want to give a shout out to the Department of Recreation for the guidance and leadership of the teenagers that they hired for the summer youth program, the summer camp. You go to over there and you see the kids are excited, you see the kids are active, you see the kids are engaged in all different kind of activities. And we're not only seeing the kids have fun, but we're training our future to learn how to work and keep a job. So they're doing a great job with the summer program at the rec center. So I had to acknowledge them.
Very good, and that's true. They got good workers there. Mr. Farrell.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Laura. Just to build on Committeeman Hodson for a moment, the gentleman, a lot of assets were used. He was 85. But Tom, I believe you were telling me that daughter was so grateful that she gave $1,000 donation to, from my understanding, $1,000
She
donation.
has a dry cleaning business.
Yeah, to the fire department, which was absolutely wonderful.
A lot of people wrote him off, Joe, because
Yeah.
it went a long period of time
It's
before they
about-
located him.
People don't realize that's a solid mile in the woods as the crow flies. That's a long way to walk through the woods, a mile.
In a thunderstorm.
Well, the thunderstorm came up, I thought they would cancel, but they stayed out there.
Yeah.
So, usually it's not good to be in the woods in a thunderstorm.
Yeah. And just to piggyback, this committee to a person has been constantly working with the chief and his command structure to replace our police officers. And again, we had interviews last week, we had an interview today before this meeting, and we're moving forward with hiring some great young men. And no women yet, but some great young men. And they're in their early 20s, and they're all very impressive. And there's a lot of experience up here in that matter. The other, just briefly, I just want to congratulate Mrs. Kelly, Danielle Kelly, for getting the land use administrator job. She is an outstanding employee, and I know that office is going to be well served.
I would like to add on to that. I was on zoning for a while, and she's outstanding.
No doubt. All right, Mayor, give it back to you.
Well, you've all said pretty much everything I was going to say. Danielle, you're doing a heck of a job, and actually, you're doing a wonderful job upstairs, and thank you very much. Main thing I want to talk about is National Nights Out. It's August 6th from 6 to 9 p.m. Fireworks about 8:45, give or take on the weather. It's a great night. Last few years, we've had over 10,000 people show up that night. So, there's going to be signs, detours. There'll be no parking on parts of Ocean Heights, parts of Leap and Swift, but there's organized parking for the spectators there. There's going to be a lot of press releases, a lot of social media presence on this. It's a wonderful, wonderful night. I mean, literally over 10,000 people. It's a communication between the police department, the municipal alliance, town hall, the fire department, public works, EMS, everybody. So it's a wonderful night. And if you have not come out to this before, I highly recommend everybody come out. It's a wonderful night. All kinds of vendors, all kinds of sports, youth sport groups, and different organizations we have here in the town. I think it's the highlight of the town for the year. So come on out. And that's all I've got for now. Tom?
I'm just going to mention, Mayor, what we talked about in work session regarding our third quarter tax bill. They should be going out in the mail sometime this coming week. And the extension date will be, they're due August 30th instead of August 1st. So that'll be posted on our website as well as Facebook once it's done.
Very good, thank you. Anything else?
That's it, man.
Mr. Friedman? Nothing? Okay, we've got some approvals. Can I have a motion to approve the departmental reports for the month of June?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can I have a motion to approve the Township Committee meeting minutes from July 10th, 2024?
Make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We need a couple more, guys.
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the Township Committee meeting closed session minutes for July 10th?
Make a motion.
Roll call? I don't have a roll call on that one.
Yeah.
Because of closed session.
Closed session.
How about all in favor? Oh, closed
No, it's a
session,
roll
okay.
call.
Roll call.
Barrow.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Hodson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Bremer.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the Township Committee special meeting minutes of July 18th?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the Township Committee special meeting closed session minutes for July 18th?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Pharaoh.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Hodgson.
Yes.
Pauls.
Yes.
Brummer.
Yes. Do we have need for a closed session?
Yes, ma'am, I have 3 quick topics for you.
Okay.
They'll be quick.
You want to go into it?
Yes. Resolution 348, authorizing Township Committee to convene a closed executive session to discuss matters which may involve personnel and/or legal matters. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss matters involving personnel and/or legal matters as follows. Personnel, discussion on the 2023 Employee of the Year, anticipated disclosure 6 months. Legal, Oxford Village request for municipal services update, anticipated disclosure 6 months. And we'll give you an update on the Hart's property and their diversion property in their contract language, anticipated disclosure 6 months. Whereas the minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be it resolved by Township Committee of Township of Egg Harbor, County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey, that the public be excluded from this meeting.
Thank you. And will we be taking any action after closed?
No action, ma'am.